その鳥と全く関係のない
Kyoto Animation was one of my favorite shows in 2025, partly due to already liking Nichijou, and the new Keiichi Arawi adaptation couldn't possibly let me down, and it didn't. I got another gag comedy slapstick extravaganza with silliness abound in every step, keeping me in its worldview. Within this package of positivity was the creativity of the production, which kept me equally at awe as it continually pushed the jokes to new heights, and even within this is slight spots of rest that hold the show together beyond its core drive. The feeling of community and connectivity, the ephemeral whimsy of life, and smiling through loss because that sadness was proof of the good times had. But I can't help among how this show made me think, how this show made me feel, but ruminate at the start to how we're introduced into this world. City, hello. Furui Riho's start begins at a place close to home. Her mother, who had aspirations to be a singer, often played music, which led to her own tastes at a young age, refined towards what they listened to: pop, R&B, and soul. We can hear this in tracks like Dekoboko. Which features a smooth, somber melody that complements Furui's rhythmic voice. As she sings about this idea of a bumpy relationship, particularly about how one can reconcile with themselves and accept that having differences is part of love. The song remains consistent in its styling throughout, allowing the lyricism to carry through with this careful sustained beat provided by the bass and guitars, occasionally accented by the groove of keys. This love for R&B and soul expanded when she was taken to a gospel concert, and that experience moved her, enough to join a choir and start contributing to her local music scene, and then starting her own choir and had workshops with friends. I think the track that really encapsulates the gospel side of her influences is Loa, an abbreviation of Love One Another. Which is an important song for Furui in many ways. The track is incredibly bright, with a consistent piano backing. Fun and explosive horns during the chorus to keep up its melody. And these splashes of organ chords that really sell the energy. The song is about trying to find love for oneself in spite of weaknesses. It's the kind of uplifting song that one might expect from gospel, one that's aggressively kind in its messaging. Furui has talked extensively about this track, how it was written for her sister as a message of self-love. The different people who helped produce the song, such as Sayo Oyama, a prominent gospel director in Japan, and how it was the main sample song referenced by City's team. The production timeline for City is well documented, and around the time the gears were turning, Furui was also picked for the opening. Being unable to just offer up Loa as the opening, it was now on Furui to figure out how to surpass her previous work, with some direction. She was told they wanted a song people of all ages could sing, with easy to understand lyrics, and more esoterically, something like Koshikame. Probably not in lyrics or sound, but something impactful that people would love no matter when they're watching. A timeless song. This idea of time is one that bled into the lyrics, as it talks about the past with the days we spent talking about dreams, but contrasts it with the present. Growing up is so difficult, isn't it? And looks ahead. I'm smiling, you're smiling too, surely this way, let's move forward. It's a song concerned with not just thinking about the things before us, not just having fun in the present, but also making sure we can move ahead. And it's packaged directly by addressing them head on, as if the song is pushing us forward to its message. The structure of the melody also supports this feeling of time. It starts with a piano run that brings you right into it as the support beat follows and a quick splash of trumpets find its way in. It feels like there's no time to rest, no time to stagnate as we're moving ahead. Then during the bridge sections, we get this idea of the past as the support beat returns. The overall instrumentation is softer, the explosion of harmony from before has disappeared. But of course, that constant drum is one we're familiar with. The past guides us, and as the piano gently advances, it sounds as if the notes are wading through a place of darkness, trying to discover what lies ahead. This feeling is heightened with the rain during these bridge sections. Rain is an important motif, and Furui talks about this. City is set in the summer, but starts with the sequence of rain being cleared, the Suyu, or rainy season, leaving. For Furui, rain holds a heavy connotation, the natural rainy days we have in our own lives, the moments of sadness, hardship, or things we just want to escape from. But it's not about letting that rain overcome us, but believing these days will pass. And so these feelings were transferred into the song through the literal rain that dissipates during the chorus. And with the line that starts each chorus, the rain has stopped. Being drenched in our own rainy days was an experience Furui personally drew from. Her decision to study abroad in Canada was rough, partially due to language barriers as she was learning English and being unable to find her footing. The experience revealed her weaknesses, and she had to accept them. This was the catalyst for two songs, Kirai, or I Hate You, with its lyrics about self-loathing, detailing insecurities, and the song Believe in the same vein. But this too was only a rainy season, and Furui was able to find a path forward, marked by the song Rebirth. Its lyrics explains the pain she's gone through, but also optimism, and saying goodbye to the person she used to be. These ideas of weathering the storm and surviving dreary days was something keen to Kyoto Animation, and Furui thought about this as well. She notes this was Kyoto Animation's first new project in a while, which is true. The last work KyoAni made that isn't related to a pre-existing property was Violet Evergarden in 2018, a year before Tragedy. Furui really thought about what this work meant to them, that it wasn't just for the fans, but the team was pouring their soul into making it. A work not derived from the past, something beyond the darkness, wholly shining with a unique brightness. She also wanted this song to have a magical feeling, akin to the innocent excitement we used to feel when we were kids. That by watching the show and listening to its music, we would remember those feelings. For a show like City, magic is one of the words I associate it with. A pure, childlike magic of seeing a work be uncompromisingly fun in its ideas and execution. It brought me back to waking up Sunday mornings, 8:30 a.m. Excited because yesterday I had spent my morning at Chinese school at a neighborhood I didn't know where, and came home bummed that I had to go to school on a weekend. The TV's low hum would buzz, and I had to make sure it wasn't too loud. Channel 25, YTV, some kids show, something bright and silly, innocent and meaningful, full of life and energy, and something that would brighten me for the week's end and start. I truly felt that magic in City, and the opening helped me get into that mood as well. The chorus in particular is where a lot of that magic sprung up. The explosion of instruments combined with the vocalese fills the space in between the singing, and in contrast with the bridge where we don't have the support vocals, it really stands out. This pensive and explorative section being opened up in such a vivid way makes it more memorable. It also helps that the song is very inviting. For instance, the starting lyrics are, "Hello dear my friends," a direct address immediately bringing you in and command your attention. There's also the subtle clapping and snapping that can be heard throughout, which I also find very intimate and welcoming. For Furui, it's also very gospel-like, and something she consciously thought about in regards to City, with the clapping and addition of voices representing this bustling community coming together. And then there's also the calls to action, with these heys. These aren't a part of the lyrics, but something innocent and simple that helps draw us into the song's energy. It's the kind of song that wants us to lower our defenses, because it truly just wants us to have fun. The lyrics also help. Many of the lines aren't just a direct address, but one that's asking the audience to do something. Let's go find what we've been hiding, throw away your cluttered heart, lift your face and take off. And then when this chorus hits, this addictively fun melody that's hard not to sing along with is all about including the listener. Let's sing together. I'm smiling, you're smiling, and let's go meet again. There's very few lines that aren't pushing you to join in. And once you do, it's easy to get absorbed in the optimistic path forward that Furui has paved. Much like how easy it is to get absorbed in the world of City and the passion on display. Furui Riho's music is the sun at the end of the rainy season, waiting with its warmth in a blaze of captivating fun, inspired by gospel, pop, and soul, with goals to instill hope and encouragement in her lyricism. It's not a formal part of any of her albums, but a standout song for me is Do What Makes You Happy. You can find her performing this live, and the lyric she's chosen to leave in English is perhaps most powerful and representative of her goals. Her goals are met by the magical, fun, encouraging, and thoughtful song that Hello is, created for a show oozing the soul of its creators. And while looking up interviews, digging into the hopeful world of Furui Riho's music, I saw something that made me think even more how perfect it was that she was tasked with City's opening. While talking about her ad-libs and the inclusion of background shouts, she says that they give her songs a freeing, innocent feel. That's what her personality is. And she just wants to express things as they are. And at the end of the day, letting yourself out, yelling out to the beat and singing along, joining in on the theatrics is, well, take it from her. And these very familiar words that Kyoto Animation and all of its fans might be familiar with. What's fun is fun. And that was the end of the video. I don't really have a good way to transition out of that previous screen, so I'm just gonna do it this way. For that last note, if you haven't watched K-On!, then I'm sorry, that last little line probably won't make sense. But if you have seen K-On!, then I think it'll hit a little bit more. I just couldn't help myself when I saw that line in that interview. Of course, this video was quite different. Well, I say quite different, but in reality it's kind of the same as my other videos, except I really put in a lot in terms of the creating the sets, the multiple sets, creating all the paper crafts, and really animating everything. It was really fun, and hopefully the style for this particular music analysis made sense. Instead of front loading everything, I decided to weave things in and out, so you got a little bit of the opening analysis at the start of that section, but then later on you would get some more background, some more context, and then it would jump from that, and hopefully it would flow nicely from one section to the other. Hopefully the more dynamic approach here was fun, led to a better narrative overall. And if you did enjoy watching this video, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, maybe even check out the Patreon. Even as a free member, I often post free updates there as well, a little bit earlier than here on the YouTube section. And if you want to even chuck in as little as $1 or $2, depending on where you live and how the currency converts, where you can get access to the Discord server, among many other things as well. But other than that, if you're on mobile, you can hype the video if that's your thing. Leave a comment, share it to someone who you might think would like this kind of analysis, or even to another City fan. City is an awesome show, and I think one of the aspects that truly, for me, made it really special every time I watched was getting to experience that opening again and again. It's such a good opening, and there's so much that went into it. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.